So, Predator, Killer of Killers released their trailer. Really, really good trailer. Actually, this is for an animated anthology movie. It's not a series, it's a movie from what I know anyway. Yeah, great trailer. Really, really good. I think that came as a surprise to most people. Some people don't like it. Sure, you're entitled to your opinion. But Dan Trachtenberg is obviously doing Predator Badlands and Killer of Killers. Or has done them, should I say. And now he's sort of doing the marketing tour and has come out and revealed some interesting stuff about how he's approaching, well, basically Killer of Killers, the language, expanding the mythos and things like this, which I think will be quite interesting for die-hard Predator fans. So dive into this with me. Please do hit subscribe if you're new here and turn those bell notifications on. So this is reported on over at comicbook.com and it's just titled Predators, Dan Trachtenberg talks Killer of Killers. So, back in 2022, filmmaker Dan Trachtenberg unleashed Prey on audiences, a Predator movie that took place long before any other entry in the franchise. So the movie's Hulu debut earned tremendous praise from audiences and critics alike, which it did. Even though the movie didn't land in theatres, its ambitious narrative and high-octane action revived the franchise, which it did. And so obviously now he's come back for Predator Badlands and Predator Killer of Killers. So, he come out and he just explained a whole bunch of stuff and it's really interesting. So he says this, quote, I had 3 very cool ideas. One of them, the first one, the one I was the most excited about at the time was Badlands. But then there was this other thing that was Prey. That was really cool. So, interesting. Interesting that Badlands was his first idea and they made Prey. And that was his second idea. So, yeah, interesting. So he says, we've got to put the Predator in these different time periods and tell that story. I think the thing that made Prey special, though, wasn't just Predator in a different time period. It was that the story we were telling was made better by the story of the Predator. And I didn't want to just throw them into a different time period. I really wanted to figure out if we were to do that kind of thing again, how could it be special? And what's the kind of story we could tell that could be equally badass and awesome, but also emotionally thematic and character-oriented. So that's good. Sorry, I just clicked on the wrong thing there. So that's interesting. So he said further, in thinking about the different time periods, I honed in on the idea of, what if we made an animated movie where we could express ourselves in a way that we don't get to see? So that's interesting. We've now had all these Predator movies, and we're doing this one that's crazy different, but still with all the stuff. The other side of the coin that I love in Predator movies is that hard R, crazy carnage. We all love that, mate. Wouldn't it be cool to see that in a different medium? So we made this movie, Killer of Killers, at the exact same time. Stupidly, but awesomely. So I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, so Trachtenberg confirmed the new movie wasn't meant to merely set the stage for follow-up projects. When asked if there were more ideas for animated movies, the filmmaker confirmed, certainly. I'm sure you guys see a cool movie and say, oh, wouldn't it be cool if? That thinking doesn't turn off for me. So there's tons of cool things. We'll see if we get to make it. People have to like it, but it certainly wasn't made. I guess the thing that we're always trying to say is it's not made to feel like it's just act one of something larger. So that's good. I hate adverts for other things. Yeah, I hate that a lot. And that is predominantly what Marvel does. It's very frustrating. I think that's what we all mean when we say Christopher Nolan would always say to make it as if it's the only one. It's really because you don't want to feel like you were shortchanged by the experience and it was incomplete. There are very much, for me, I won't sleep at night if I don't feel like I really communicated with exactly all that I wanted to do with both of these movies. So we're really throwing all our hearts out there. So that's good. That's really good. And then, ladies and gents, we get to some more information, which is all to do with Predator Badlands, the language and the lore, and sort of developing it further. So basically he says, and I quote, let me tell you, this is to do with the new performer. This guy, Demetrius Schuster Kolamatangi, butchering that, is the actor's name. We had a very specific casting for Deck. We thought we would want a stunt guy, and this was a real opportunity because all the other Predators need to be like 7'6". It's very specific people that aren't often trained stuntmen. Trachtenberg pointed out. They happen to be that size and they decide to get into this business. Prey star Dane DeLiegro did want to be in the business, but he also was an ex-basketball player. He was the one who played the feral predator in Prey. Here, it was the first time I was like, oh, we can get a proper stunt guy to be the guy who can move in the ways. And at one of our castings, we had a number of stunt guys, and then this dude, Demetrius, came up, and the way he moved just had a great swashbuckle to it. He just was so cool. Interesting way to describe it, isn't it? This is for, again, Badlands here. Really interesting. So we set up a little physical obstacle course. That's how we cast him. Then he did some dramatic stuff from the movie, and it was awesome. I was not at all prepared for what he actually does. I could not believe how did we luck into this guy. It's crazy that we found him. Then he gave so much to the movie and learned the language. And I mean, the language, that language is not everyone can do it. I can't do it. I can't even pretend. You have to make whatever click sound in the back, and he can just do it. He would learn in that morning if we changed lines or whatever, and it was incredible. So amazingly, Dan Trachtenberg has actually created a language for Predator now. Interesting, I think, to be honest. Quite genuinely interesting. Very, very interesting. So it says this. We did a very new thing with the creature. The thing that's been special about Predator is that it had practical suit effects. It's one of the first big pioneers of the art. All the movies have featured that craft. The problem is that when we did some early tests for this movie, we realised the obvious thing is that it's typically a horror character. It pops out of the shadows for a few seconds, and we see glimpses, and it's cloaked for so often. This movie, you really wanted people to connect with Deck, so they've named the Predator Deck. Okay. Unfortunately, the rotors that go inside the mask that is usually adorned for the Predator not only affects all the physicality of the creature, so it makes people move a certain way, but also it just does not have the articulation to bring people in and connect to a creature. We were trying. He's building up to reveal that there's just CGI faces, just as an FYI. I've revealed this before, but yeah. We're trying to do this thing of we want you to bond with a horrific looking creature. The methodology was a guy in a suit, and you're seeing the suit, the whole thing, other than this face. The face is all digital. I said that months ago. Handled by Weta Workshop. The thing I should have mentioned that I think is very cool about how we're treating the faces, the CG, is so that we express this in Prey. People are not going to be happy with this, but alright. Where we had some scenes, we would augment a lot. The director clarified. There was a lot of handover between the practical and digital. Like in his hands and picking up things and things you would never notice. Some things, unfortunately, were a little bit noticeable. And a lot of that, it was when we went to a face occasionally and it became a creature face. The cool of what we're doing, where it's digital, it's meant to match the suit. So it's not matching creature flesh, it's matching his suit, which has a look to it, which Weta makes amazingly and should feel like an alien creature. But it's still a little different than like when you see a full CG golem or any alien creature in any cool alien. It's that flesh is different than suit. And so the face perfectly blends in and is matching that suit quality. So hopefully it looks like real material. Bad move, mate. Shouldn't be doing a CG Predator face. But fine, whatever. So anyway, the writer also went on and just talked about how he sort of cast the guy to play Deck, the Predator. Don't really need to talk about that. But there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. And also, so he speaks about, the Predator homeworld and stuff like that a little bit more as well. So he says, that's one of the cool things of the movie is that outside of very brief glimpses in other films, we're on Yautja Prime, what is known as Yautja Prime, mainly from Extended Universe stuff. There's a lot in this movie that is more from the Extended Universe than is from different things that are properly in the movie. I should mention the language. We, insanely, decided to really treat that properly and worked with. We reached out to the guy who does the Na'vi language in Avatar, interesting, who was very occupied, and recommended his mentor, I'm guessing. We did it the way For the Lord of the Rings, you would do Elvish. For Game of Thrones, you do Dothraki. Except for those, there's more precedent. For us, there's very little. As we discovered with him being a language expert, all the stuff, and frankly, actually working with Predator special effects artists, Alec Gillis, all the stuff that you've seen in other Predator movies is complete garbage. What? There's no sense of it. People from the internet have tried to make sense of it. But none of it was made with intention. Fascinating. So we decided to make it with intention, and we completely developed the language. So everything they're speaking has actual rules and structure and all that stuff. And written as well as verbal. Very early on, we just did explorations, concept art explorations of what Yautja could be. I wanted to be very careful in making this, that I not fall into the trap that is making something that is more lore-focused than story-focused. I think lots of times when people do more in a franchise, there's a tendency to really go whole hog into the Senate trading committees and whatever. Sounds like a Star Wars thing, but alright. I think we should just have a little sliver of that, but not let the movie be like, there could be some expectation when people hear the premise that the movie is going to be all about the inner workings of the Yautja culture. And that's not. We wanted to make it feel genre, feel very specific. Really what it is, it's an inversion of the premise of now the Predator is on a planet, he's going to be hunted by things, and has to use his guile to figure out stuff. There you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Bye now.